I can't believe they gave us passes.
I know. They must think we're real. I'm a real boy.
Hello and welcome to Morgan and Justin's movie review,
where we're at the Victoria Film Festival and we just watched Dangerous Liaisons. It's set in China, 1931. You might remember the old 1988 movie featuring John Malkovich, Uma Thurman, and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Dangerous Liaisons is essentially about wealthy people playing with people's lives.
You know, it was like going for that sort of beautiful, it was like epic. You know,
That's right.
Lots of sweeping vistas. And of course, you're trying to establish where these people are. It was around the time when Japan and China were not getting on very good. Some of the camera work, I'm gonna say, like, I didn't like it. Some of the weird follows and stuff like that, it made me a little bit, whoa.
Like, everybody was dressed well.
Stylistic, it was very nice.
Yeah, it was impeccable in terms of the style and what it looked like, and everybody's hair was perfectly done. And
I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
You don't have to lie.
Of course not. Why would I lie? One of the things I had a bit of an issue with was, especially as it got on, it's like, holy crap, we've got a lot of story to tell, and we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple of cuts that will leave the audience going, what?
It suited the movie. You know, it's people behaving badly and terribly.
Well, they
against
were,
one
and
another.
these people did awful,
Vicious,
terrible things to themselves and to these innocent people. Got quite a bit of good humor in it.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say that was one of the strongest, other than the style. One of my favorite parts of this movie was the humorous bits. Like, there was lots of laugh out loud, like the audience around us laughing around.
Well, you had to put some comic relief in this movie.
Yeah,
It was a horror movie for the heart. I probably wouldn't necessarily go to a movie like this on my own unless my wife brought me to the movie.
Right. I found, like, to me, this is a movie if you like that 1930s style, if you like
Watching people's hearts broken.
Yeah. And the bad guy, he was cool. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? I can't even help myself.
Perfect hair.
You're gonna come with me.
He was just like Morgan.
It's a pretty good flick.
No.
It's a pretty good flick, but it's not great. We just watched Tale.
Or Fail, if you were to read it like in English.
It's a Norwegian folklore tale.
Yes, fantasy.
Oh, tale is good because Tale means tail in Norwegian.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy, mystery, thriller, horror.
And so, like, I was really freaked out.
He was quite nervous.
I was like,
there was a lot of tapping.
I did a lot of this.
He smelled his fingers the whole time. Basic storyline, these two cleaner dudes.
Go on.
If it's anything to deal with like bodily fluid, deceased individuals,
blood.
You send these guys in to clean up
their
mess.
hazmat suits and their...
That's right. That's right.
Seriously, like, the stuff he finds, I would not keep going. You couldn't pay me to...
You'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We should do something logical. I'd be like, hey, what's this? Hey, Morgan, what's this?
Morgan, we should separate.
We should go in the room here. What was it?
Don't touch anything, Justin. And he'd be like...
That's why it's a horror movie.
I know.
In horror movies,
it's all like...
smart people do stupid things.
It's all behind the cameras. Oh,
yeah. Basically, they find this mysterious lady.
She might have been nude.
Like, pops out of nowhere, and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then it takes kind of a weird twist. And, like, who's good, who's... Like,
I enjoyed the movie. It's my kind of movie. I like kind of fantasy.
I was riveted the whole time. I felt the time went flying by, and I was like, really liked it. Even though I had to, you know, it's subtitled, so you're reading the whole time, which is fine. That's my problem for not speaking Norwegian. Yeah, it was like an hour and 15 minutes, so it was quite short. But it was nice. I like that. Yeah. It's not for everybody.
No.
You should go see this if you kind of like those thriller horror movies, flavored with horror, but it's a thriller suspense.
It's suspenseful.
Fantasy movie. So if you like that kind of thing, that kind of movie, you should go see it.
That's right. Yeah. And if you don't, watch it on DVD.
Yeah, we don't know if this is actually going to hit the theaters because we're at the Victoria Film Festival, where we just watched
Inescapable. This is a Canadian production.
Produced by the Canadian Film Board, I believe, and
directed
Telefilm
by,
Canada.
That's right, and it was filmed in Toronto and South Africa.
Yeah, and it was set in Syria, Damascus to be specific. And what happens is we are introduced to our hero,
Alexander Siddiq. He used to be like part of a secret police force of some kind.
Right, and so he basically got out of Syria.
He's got to go back to rescue his daughter, who has gone missing, who's been missing for several
it's like
days.
Taken Light.
So it's like if Liam Neeson was on Deep Space Nine.
Exactly, and was a doctor. So it reflects on the current government there right before Arab Spring and why they have this very strong police state. And well, I liked it. It's funny. We've been at the film festival here and we've seen 3 movies. And again, this is another movie where the pacing is a weird.
Yeah, that threw me off a little bit sometimes.
Because it is kind of an action suspense movie, and it's the third movie in a row where the reactions of some of the people under stress aren't as stressed as they should be. I'm getting the feeling that that's kind of a North American, like, we're so used to seeing stress expressed on movies that's what we expect. When you go to see a movie where somebody's daughter's taken, you expect them to go, oh, where's my daughter? I need to get her right away. Oh my God, it's crazy. Instead of like, I'm a very methodical guy and I have the power to do what I want to do. I just have to go do it. Although there's a couple times when it's like, I'm cool. Oh, I did not see that coming.
I thought it was a pretty good movie, and I like all of the actors in it. Alexander Siddiq I've always loved him since he first came out, since I first saw him in Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Yours.
Joshua Jackson has matured into a very good actor.
Looks a little bit like Ewan McGregor.
If Ewan McGregor was Canadian.
Sure.
And Marisa Tomei is gorgeous, and she does a fine job.
It's interesting.
A Syrian lady.
Well, would you go see it?
I would go see this movie.
Would you give it a go see it? Like, I would give it. I would give it a go see it. It could have been edited a little better to keep the tension a little higher.
It was a little disjointed at times, and I was like,
a little bit.
What just happened there?
But I would say overall, it's a go see it movie.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't quite knock it out of the park, but it was very well done, and the acting was good. It was interesting. The scenes of Damascus, even though it was shot in South Africa, was very accurate. He's like, I don't know how I want to talk to the director, figure out how they made it look so authentic. So, you know what I liked about the action? Right. It was real.
It did seem real. I like some of this like awkward fighting bits.
Yeah, like where in movies it's always like everything's so perfect. These guys are like.
Like, ow! So that's Morgan and Justin's movie review at the Victoria Film Festival. Thanks for watching.
Bye!